You too, what's good, man? It's your boy Benji, and we're back ballin'.
Tell your mans to chill. Yo, who mans is this? Somebody come get us.
So obviously, everyone heard about the news. I woke up and it's still reality. It's actually a thing. Luka Doncic really got sent to LA. Like, I think it caught everybody so off guard because of the time of media that we're in, we're always used to getting information, hearing the rumors, hearing the dirt sheets, something. Something that would have gave us a little inkling that this is a possibility. That never happened. We just got smacked right in the face with this information. Random portion of the night. And woke up, it actually happened. It wasn't a dream. Let's break down some people's grading. So USA Today graded the Mavericks B minus, and for many points I agree with. They traded a 25-year-old star now who's not yet in his prime, who's been a 5-time All-NBA selection and led the finals, or led the franchise to the finals. It literally just came off the season where he ran the finals. That's a completely crazy risk. And part of the way, he's one of the most offensively gifted players. Finished third in MVP point last season and is close to being a 30-point per game triple-double player. Yep. A lot riding on the trade for the Mavs. Comments from GM Nico Harrison about defense winning championships suggested the Mavericks didn't think they could win a title with Luka Doncic's defense. Is his defense that bad? Was it worth giving up his offense? Or was there another compelling reason to trade Doncic now? Was it his possible free agency in the summer of 2026 and the idea of losing him without getting much in return? The Mavericks certainly got a star in return. Davis, who is out for another week with an abdominal strain, is one of the game's best two-way big men who can score, rebound, block shots, protect the paint, and defend on the perimeter. This move elevated the 26 and 23 Mavs from 8th place in the Western Conference to a title contender. It certainly makes them better defensively and gives them a low post scoring option. A premier one at that, and Christie developed them into a starter with a proven three-point game. And the grade of Lakers, A minus. The Lakers traded LeBron James' close friend without James knowing until news of the deal broke. James knows stranger to the business of basketball, so whatever seeing he feels will disappear with time. Doncic's physical conditioning will be scrutinized even more, especially because it's in LA, as will Doncic's commitment to defense. The Lakers are number 21 defensively and just got worse with Davis' departure. Doncic, who has been out since Christmas with a calf injury, is expected to return this month to give the Lakers the help with the garbage that they sought. His offensive skill set is phenomenal, and James and Doncic will create offensive fireworks. Without offensive production be enough to compensate for defensive shortcomings, especially in the playoffs, the Lakers are 28 and 19 and in 5th place in the West, just a half game behind the Denver Nuggets. They're in a hot streak away from challenging Houston and Memphis for 2nd and 3rd place. Surely this is a move for the present, but also the future. The chance to acquire a player of Doncic's caliber doesn't come often. James won't be around forever. The Lakers now expect to have one of the league's best players for the next decade. The Jazz, I don't know how you understand how they got to be at this. They took a player and draft picks to help facilitate the surprising portion of the trade. Getting 2 second-round picks could help facilitate another deal at the trade deadline over offseason for the Jazz. They stink, so I don't understand what that was. Look, y'all, I'm going to rant. I think, like they said, it's very, very risky at the very least for you to trade away the cornerstone of your offense. And if you've watched the Mavericks play, and something that really stung watching them over the last couple of seasons, particularly when it came to the playoffs and their shortcomings in the NBA Finals, is, yes, defense, but it's also how they play offensively. They have a heliocentric offense that revolved around Luka Doncic making plays. And if it wasn't Luka Doncic on the court making plays, it was Kyrie Irving making plays. And everybody just stood around and watched. So I think if you take one of the biggest contributors to your offense and you ship them off somewhere, you would have to reconstruct your entire offense, would you not? I mean, you said in a way a dude that averaged 28, 8, and 8. I mean, we've seen Luka Doncic be someone who can not only score a lot of baskets, but additionally, he can generate a lot of baskets. He's an extremely tough cover, and not only can he score the ball, but he can find players, he can assist. That offense is relegated to a bunch of guys standing around without Luka. So to me, at the very least, it's confusing how the Mavericks will move forwards. Now, obviously, in terms of just talent, if this is like NBA 2K, The Lakers won because now you added one of the best offensive players in the NBA to the Lakers, who currently have a solid roster. Not amazing, not a lot of shooters, but they've grabbed a couple defenders. They've gone on a bit of a streak. And of course, you have the GOAT of the generation, LeBron James, playing on that team. Here's where I find a little bit of an issue, because it's almost like you're getting Westbrook 2.0. And I said it to say it's all about the mental portion of the game. Westbrook came from a scenario where he was in an offense that relied on him to generate points as well as create offense for other people. The team ebbed and flowed as Westbrook ebbed and flowed. Luka's coming off a very similar scenario. This dude was in Dallas creating all the offense. And when he needed a breather, Kyrie Irving, you could just stand there and dance. Now the burden is going to be on Kyrie Irving in order to facilitate and create offense. Because obviously we know that Kyrie Irving can score with the best of them. Albeit it's a little difficult because the shots he's going to take aren't necessarily the highest percentage, but Kyrie Irving makes it look very, very, very easy. But we haven't seen much success when Kyrie Irving is your lead point guard. He can play off the ball and can even be one of your leading scorers. Sure, we've seen that. Don't necessarily think that he's going to be the one that's going to be able to carry this team back to the finals. Because just adding AD did not do anything for your team defensively, because you already got rid of majority of your perimeter defenders. But back to LA, the good thing is you got Doncic, you got a 25-year-old, so that means as LeBron exits LA, now you've got a graceful transition to an already superstar level talent. A guy that can be Markieff in LA. You already got it. You didn't have to do any work. We know this is a superstar. This is somebody that people are already talking about possibly being one of the best players of this generation. He's a current top 5 player in the league. So, yeah, kudos for you. JJ Redick. I know JJ's been really adamant about trying to get the Lakers to move the ball. He's really adamant about them being able to work together as a team and their defense. Now, he expressed multiple concerns about D'Lo and his defense. So now what are we going to do when we watch LeBron James and Luka Doncic complaining about a call and both of them are sagging back on defense, arguing with the referees instead of getting back? What are we going to do when that happens? Additionally, I'll take a 1-2 punch from the perimeter position, but we've got talented players. We've seen D'Lo, we've seen Reeves. Now, what do all these dudes do? Is their growth now stunted because now we have Luka Doncic? We've never seen Luka Doncic in a scenario where he gets to play off the ball, at least in an NBA game. I mean, this is a guy that dropped 70 points last year. And now we're going to watch him, be relegated to a spot-up shooter? Are we going to watch LeBron James be relegated to a spot-up shooter? Come on now. This is more about building the future up than getting a LeBron and a legitimate opportunity at another ring. And I think Dallas, they've been at the short end of the stick, because now you built an offense. Now you built a team and a roster around a bunch of old guys. Kyrie's 32. I'm sure he wouldn't want to admit it, but he's starting to trend towards the decline of his career. He can obviously play at a high level for a long time. But as he starts to lose a little bit of that step, is this a player that you're going to build a roster around? Klay Thompson's 34. This dude came to Dallas and is absolutely a shell of himself. We're watching him average 14 points a game. And for some reason, y'all thought that playing in an offense where Luka Doncic is the primary ball handler was going to get Klay Thompson a bunch of baskets. Klay Thompson is one of the greatest shooters ever, and we've seen the inconsistency in his game this season. And all he has to do is stand and shoot, because he's not even the number 1 or number 2 offensive threat. Anthony Davis is 31, and his career has been riddled with injuries. While on paper, sounds like a really nice option, but Dallas, you haven't done anything to build up a lot of your young talent. You've got a bunch of guards. You literally run a completely guard-heavy offense. Now, how does Anthony Davis fit into this? Let's look at this. Kyrie Irving, we haven't been able to see him as a player who's anyone that we can count on for long term because he's been injured for a good, healthy portion of this season. Klay Thompson, actually this season he's been solid in regards to how many games he's playing. P.J. Washington's injured. Anthony Davis is currently out. Daniel Gafford's been day-to-day. Okay, sure. Let's take a look at a potential second unit. Dinwiddie, Christie, Exum, Marshall, and Davis. We are relying on currently Daniel Gafford and Dwight Powell as our offensive big men. Gafford's having a breakout season this year. Powell's been there for a long time. So how does Anthony Davis fit into this offense? You would need to completely reconstruct your offense halfway through the season. All in all, I think for both teams it's a poor current trade, but the potential is available for the Lakers down the line. Because what you may get with LeBron James vacating, etc. I'm interested to see how J.J. Redick's going to try and work this out, especially since you've been on an upward trend. And Dallas, I mean, they can't stay healthy. And I think they lucked their way into the finals last year. They're going to need a lot more than Anthony Davis. But they will definitely be a threat just off of what they got in terms of paper. They have to reconstruct that offense in order to have another shot. They have to. Hero basketball saved them simply because they have the talent of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving last season. So don't necessarily think that is going to be much of an indicator of how the season will play out for them this year. Y'all leave me in the comments below. Let me know what y'all think. Who won this trade? And what do we see for the future of both these rosters?